Welcome everybody. Thank you everybody for joining today. Really excited to have you all here. And as some of you know, because we've actually chatted. My name is Martin. We have Sarab and Anurag here as well. So for the agenda for today, let's hop in. Really quick agenda. Since Sarab, Anurag, and I are all on the sales team, we're gonna very, very briefly just walk over a quick overview of restrict access by sales rep. It's gonna be a really quick overview because the feature is not that big, right? And then we're gonna hop into why we're here, the live Q&A. Excited to see all your questions, and hopefully we have time to cover them all. If not, we will definitely be noting down the questions, who they're from, and then you will be reached out from our team to essentially get you answered those questions. And as always, feel free to always reach out to support at inflowinventory.com with any other questions that might pop up later on. Let's hop into the restrict access by sales rep. And again, if you don't use sales rep, use this as an opportunity to start popping in your questions. But yeah, let's hop into the restrict access by sales rep. And this is a feature that we have been requested before. It's a relatively new feature. We're going to do a quick overview here. We're going to turn on the restricted access for you guys to generally see the difference in terms of what a restricted sales rep see and what an unrestricted sales reps see. Because sometimes if you have multiple sales rep taking orders on mobile, creating different customers for accountability purposes, we might not want them to see each other's orders. We might not want them to see each other's customers if they cover different regions, or for overall accountability. Right. So over here, if we hop into where we can set this up is if we hop into options of inFlow, and we will see our team members, and then on the right side we will see sales reps. Right. And then over here we can click manage sales reps. So I've toggled on I'm currently logged in as this person, as myself, and then we have another one over there. Both are sales reps, both are unrestricted right now. And so what happens when you toggle on a person as a sales rep, but they're unrestricted, which means that they can still see all the customers and all the sales orders. When they create a new customer, when they create a new sales order, their sales rep would automatically be tagged on that order and on that profile, right? And so it's still going to be automatically tagged. Now, if we click this, yeah, I'm going to leave that as unrestricted right now. So hopping into my sales order list, and this is my demo account. So as you can see, I'm very behind on fulfilling a lot of different orders. But as you can see, I can see all the orders, the ones that are assigned to me and the ones that are not, from all customers. And if I look at the customer profile as well, I can see all of my customers so far, right? And the next thing, let's hop into, let's turn on a restrictive sales rep, manage sales rep, and then I'm going to restrict that person. So restrict myself. So now let's hop into the customer list. As you can see, it's a big difference. There's only one customer profile that's been tagged, with this, with me as a sales rep, and as well as for all the different orders. There's no orders right now for that specific customer. I can't. So you can see the difference, in terms of what they can't and can't see. And if you have any more questions about this feature, feel free to drop that in the chat. As I mentioned, this is going to be a quick, overview. All three of us are on the sales team here. We figured, this is a relevant feature for us to take a quick overview. But without further ado, let's hop into why we're here, the live Q&A. So,
Okay, Martin.
yeah, so that's a great question, Yolanda. Yeah, nice to chat with you again. The restricted sales reps would only see customers and orders that they have created or the customers and orders that has been assigned to them as their, assigned to them by the main admins. Yeah. So the only scenario where restricted sales rep can see a customer without them creating it is if an admin assigned them as a sales rep for that customer. So Aaron, if you have a restricted access as outlined by the admin, it may be best to contact the admin for them to essentially give you more access on the account.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. And if they have a trouble doing regarding which specific restriction that is, always reach out so we can assist them there. We are doing an order split. Why does order number one go into minus for the payment? Or split. This might be a case by case Keelan?
Hmm.
Yeah, this the order number one goes into yeah, minus for payment. It means like a negative account. There's a couple of reasons why it might happen. Maybe because there has been some returns, on that orders, or there's some negative pricing. But for this one, in terms of why that specific order goes into negative balance, there's really a lot of different reasons that might cause that. I can't say from my end right now, but for that one, if you reach out to support, if you reach out to your CSM, I think they can dive into it further and then give you the precise reasons for that.
Perfect.
Oh,
April has a
is there a way
question
to
about.
restrict things that sales rep can edit, change rather than specific orders and customers? Yes. So those users, right? So for April's question, right? Is there a way to restrict what things sales rep can edit, change slash add rather than just specific orders and customers? So yeah, sales rep restricted or unrestricted, obviously they can be restricted there to their own customers and their own orders. On top of that, in the general user access setting that's not in the sales rep tab, you can outline what features they can and can't change. For example, for a sales order, even though they can see their own orders, they can see their own customers, on that scenario you can decide if they can change the pricing for the orders or not, or they can only view, right? On top of that, also, if you're operating out of different locations, different sales rep can only see, even if they're unrestricted, they can only see the customers from their location. So there's different other restrictive ability. To do that. So for example, for like the inventory product as well, on their user setting instead of the sales rep setting, you can edit what they can and can't change on like the product level. For example, for products, they can only view or they can add new products over there, right? And they can pull reports, they can change settings. That will be in the user access, general user access settings.
And I also
Yeah.
dropped the link to our knowledge article in the chat, so that walks you through
Oh,
how to change those user access rights.
awesome. Thank you, Sora. For the next question, I think coming from Stephanie, uh, for us, it's our stores making the orders, and if we restrict them, can they only see their own orders? Correct. Yeah. If you restrict them as so if they're right now as a user in inFlow and you add them as a sales rep and you add that restricted sales rep, yes, they will only be able to see the own orders that they created. And from Aaron, do we need to get our own account to run our distribution company better? Um, I for so Aaron, I'm not too sure on what the exact workflow is with between you and the current admin. So it may be it's probably a bit difficult, for us to answer that. I don't know what the exact intricacies in terms of like how your relationship with the admin account works. I would say possibly, but again, I feel like I don't have enough information into your exact case to answer that right now. But please reach out to support and have the admin reach out as well. And then for the other, if they need to loosen up like the restriction for your account, then you can certainly have them do that. You're very welcome. um from Visanya, I have a question about inventory. What is the best area on inFlow to do inventory? So I'm assuming you're talking about stock counts, right? Like cycle counts. So in that case, right now, and it's actually a good news. our mobile stock count, so you, to be able to do this with barcode, it's currently under development, and it should be out in the next couple months. Saurabh and Eric, do you guys know what the rough timeline is? Did they give us a rough timeline?
So right now, I
Just
don't believe we have a
yeah,
current timeline,
No.
but
Okay.
it's
There's
actually
okay.
not a
developed.
set timeline. No.
Okay, not a set time. Gotcha. Well, the good news is that is currently, it's not just planned. It is currently under development, but in terms of when exactly it's going to be out, that is yet to be updated from the dev team. But it's pretty much going to be sooner rather than later, as it is an ongoing current project going on. So for the time being, you can use your stock count feature on the web app to essentially perform the stock take, and then we've just updated that on the web app. So now you'll be able to break down account at that by location, break it down into different sheets, assign different people to complete the different sheets, and there's different reviewing stages for the count as well. Yeah. And Saurabh, if you have a chance, feel free to drop in that stock count article in the chat as well.
Of course.
Yeah. So right now, the best place to do that in inFlow would be the web app. But that is coming on the mobile as well, so you don't need to be in proximity with the computer. Yeah. And from April, they'll be changing the documents on the cloud platform to look more like professional, like the web app, like the app version. That is with the good news coming too. Another feature that we are also currently under development is for you to design your own documents. This project, so just like we've recently um, come out with like labels, you can design your own labels. It's going to be quite a similar concept when you design your own documentation. You can drag and drop. You can essentially design your own label. There are obviously going to be some templates, professional templates for you to choose from. Yeah.
Fantastic. Like Bachelorette
Yeah,
says it's
from
on.
Basirat Ovner, cost is not getting changed. We price change on the PO. Gotcha. So when you price change, so let's say if you have for to answer Bashirat's question, uh, when you have a price change on that PO, right? So let's say item A with from vendor one, the system knows it as $10 a unit, and you create that onto a PO. So $10 per unit is automatically populated on that PO. If you change that to, let's say, $12 a unit, there will be a little button there for you to save back. So be sure to press that little save back button. So the next time when you're ordering that same item from that PO, it's going to populate your most updated, $12 a PO. If you didn't, $12 a unit. If you didn't check that save back button, then it's just going to treat it as a one-off thing. The next time it's still going to default to its own default vendor price for that item from that vendor. Aaron, the admin to us, but we are a separate business entity and to them. So we don't know how all the option we actually need. One from our end, the manufacturing doesn't know what a feature inFlow offers. Okay, gotcha. So Aaron, I think what might be best is find a time. So reach out to support and CC the manufacturer as well, right? It seems like yes, right now technically you guys are different businesses, but you guys are actually using like one inFlow account. So find a time to loop in your manufacturer and have them like meet with inFlow, and then from there we can get their perspective as well, and we can get the whole picture of what needs to be tweaked for you guys to essentially have a better experience, because it seems like right now you guys are sharing an account and they're the admin, and in terms of what the exact workflow is, we can't say what exactly needs to be loosened on the user restrictions, but that's probably the best step forward in your use case there, Aaron. From Mary, how can we run a serialized product list to see where the serialized product have been shipped to? Great. So for this, yeah. So for Mary's question, there can be a multiple different report that can show you. So if you're looking at shipping, you can look at um, the sales by product details. Alternatively, you can also look at your inventory report, go to inventory movement details, and then put on a filter for sales order picking or sales order fulfillment. And then there should be an option in the columns for you to add serial numbers to be shown on that report. This is if you want to get a general overview of a list of all serial numbers ship out to all, all customers. However, if you have a specific customer or a specific order and you want to remember what serial numbers has gone to them, just open up the order, or you can go to the customer profile. There should be an order history. Go to that order and then highlight that quantity. It should tell you which serial numbers are picked. Also, if you're wondering, if you have a serial number in mind and then you want to know what specific order it has gone out to, go to that item of issue, go to movement history, plug in that serial number as a filter for under that movement history, under that serial number tab, and then it will service all the orders, the purchase order that you receive it in, or the manufacturer order that you make it in, as well as the sales order that you pick it on. Right. And so you can see all the history regarding that specific serial number if you're diving into the specifics like that. Yeah. But for general overview, inventory movement report, filtered by sales order fulfillment or sales order picking, that would be a good place to see an overview. And it's just someone to discuss with us how you do business and which option or feature us the most. Hoping to get in-person direction before watching all the available video. Absolutely. So if you're considering on getting like a separate account for your business, please reach out. Yeah, we will be, either be one of us. You're probably going to be chatting with either Anirag or Sarab as well. Then we're going to dive into, your exact workflow, what the end-to-end needs are. And then, we can essentially provide a better tailored solution that way. So to answer your question, yes, there will be a tailored demo to you once you reach out to us. From Paul, when creating an inventory movement summary, I find it would be ideal to have quantity available as an option for a column. Currently, yeah, that's a good feedback, Paul. Quantity in, quantity out, quantity on hand, unless you suggest a different report that can do so. So I would say if you want to see quantity available, as well as, let's say, how many quantities is reserved, as well as, for each of the orders, how many, quantities remaining to be fulfilled on each of the orders. Maybe it's like partial fulfillment. That's a good feedback, for us to add it on the inventory summary, so we can have like the reserve as well. I believe there's two reports that I would suggest. You might be able to see like the reserved versus like available in inventory details. If not, you can go into the sales section and you can go to your back order report, and then you will be able to see the quantity reserved, the quantity available, and the quantity remaining on each order on that report. From Mark, product, I export these products to a CSV file and run the file through macro. When inFlow adds a column to the file, could the column be added to the end of the file? Generally speaking, I would say, yeah, you can certainly move. If I understand your question correctly, Mark, when you export the product list onto a CSV file, you want to move a column to the end of the file. That's yeah. So inFlow adds a column to the file. Yeah, you want to add it to the end of the file. Yeah, you can certainly move the column to the end of the file. On the file itself, it doesn't matter what sequence those columns are in, as long as when you're importing it, they're matched to the right fields. Yeah. And if I didn't understand your question correctly, please let me know. And yeah, we're all excited for custom documents design. That's been a long awaited feature for us as well. Yeah. Question. How do I track inventory on multiple locations? Great question. So first of all, your account needs to have multi-location access. Sure, you have multi-location access. In settings, you can actually add the different inventory locations or even bin locations slash sub locations within each like warehouse, like aisle one, shelf three, for example. And then after that, essentially, when you receive items, when you are selling items, when you're moving items, stock transferring, then you'll have those uh, location slots to choose from, and then from those movements, inFlow would essentially keep your locations quantity accurate, right? By perpetuating, updating the inventory quantities at each of those inventory locations and sub locations. Yeah, we do have an article on tracking multiple locations as well. And how do we connect? Before
Info
usage
documents.
change itself. Okay, yeah. So for the Basarath, the pricing question, uh, to my understanding, currently, like that save back button should still be there. If you're not seeing that on your end, then maybe we are missing something. Maybe there's some setting that we are missing. That might be a more detailed case by case basis. You can reach out to support at inflowinventory.com, and they can actually take a look there for you. Yeah, and you can even send it over like a screenshot as well, or they can ask you for the screenshot that they will require. Yeah, how do we connect inflow with digital documents to get in-person signature device? This, Aaron, this collecting signatures like on DocuSign. This has been a feature that has been requested before. We can see what we can do. This might be a bit too late to add to the custom doc custom documentation project, but we have gotten this feedback before, and we are, yeah, evaluating this feature as we find more and more feedback according with this. Is there a link for us to
So
connect?
Martin, just sort of
Yeah.
did respond to Aaron with the link to our support team. So thank you sort of for doing that, for helping us
Okay.
out.
Yeah. And Aaron's having difficulty getting a response from support. Is there a link?
Yeah.
That's odd because they're usually pretty responsive.
Mhm.
If you reach out to um, hmm, Sarab, you wanna take Aaron's question? I can give them your email,
Yeah, of
or
course.
or do you want them to go to the general inbox?
Yeah, so if you're looking to inquire for that, yeah, we could reach out with some more information booking started with that.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
getting your support team would be
Yeah,
best
Aaron.
for getting
Yeah,
contact.
we're gonna reach out to you at the end of this. Let me note that down. Reach out, and we'll be sure to dive in a bit more detail and get the needed information to get that resolved.
Yeah, otherwise our support team
Yeah.
and sales teams can be reached through live chat
Yeah.
during
Mhm.
business hours. So feel free to reach
Yeah.
us out through there and should be able to get you a timely response.
Yeah, regardless, yeah, for all the remaining questions, and also Aaron, we've made a note here. We're gonna be reaching out to you at the end of this webinar. Yeah, yeah, so we can get those specific questions regarding you and your admins resolved. We might need to loop them in as well. It depends on what the scenario is. Um, is there an easy way to view quote requests that you have out? There doesn't seem to be a way to separate purchase order from quote requests. Gotcha. So in the order list, whether you're viewing, so for Philip's question, in the order list, whether you're viewing a PO list or your SO list, there should be an option to filter just showing quotes or just showing orders, right? You might have it by default to just show orders, so the quotes are kind of like hidden. But if you turn on, that filter, it should show you what your quotes are. If you just, filter for, just quotes. that James? From Layla, the best way to manage inventory? Well, that is a loaded question. That's a great question. Regardless, we to answer that question, we would like to dive into what your needs are in terms of managing, your inventory, what it would encompass, and what is, like the current, essentially the current workflow that works best for your team. So please, reach out, or we can all actually, yeah, if you don't currently have a account, let me note that down. We're going to be reaching out to you as well. Just for a quick chat. You might be chatting with Anurag, you might be chatting with Sarab,
Mhm.
so that way we can dive in further in terms of what your needs are, and then we can essentially outline how you would be using inflow on a daily basis. Excuse me. So from Asherat, how to see current stock on web and mobile app. So multiple places that you can kind of see that. On the mobile app to see your current stock. So on the mobile app, it's more for on-the-go features. It's not really for like reporting or different analytics like that. However, if you have a specific product in mind, you can go into your product list and look up that product, and then it should show you what the distribution of that product is across different locations. Also, on the web app, if you run an inventory report, any inventory summary, inventory details report, that should show you what your current stock is. And also, if you go to the product list and if you filter by specific location and you expand that product list, so you're not like reviewing a specific product just in that list view, you should see the quantities for that chosen location in the specific column directly on your product list. Drop down. There's no drop down in the filters for this.
Mm.
There should be. Surab, yeah, do you mind helping? Is there an article for us to like have essentially allow Philip to like just show quotes on like the orders? Yeah, it should
Uh,
like the filter depending if you're using on Windows, I believe the filter is called show, and then you can check, orders, quotes. Yeah, it should be there. From Kitan, there is no user permission that allows one location users just to see to just see inventory at that location. Is your division? What is your plan to fix it? That's a good feedback. I'll take that to the team. I don't know if we have a current plan to kind of change our restrictive access by location right now. Because right now, if you restrict access based off of location, and you just say user one, they're only restricted at their locations. Um, then in those cases, they won't be able to view the other inventory, the other locations inventory. I don't think there's an immediate plan to fix this right now, but nevertheless, it's good feedback for the team, and yeah, we're gonna log it, and then and see what the game plan is. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no set time on when this specific aspect is gonna change.
Martin, sorry, just to interject for 1 second, just to go back to the question on the reviewing sales quotes. So I was
Yeah,
just logging, yeah, I was just logging into my own test account. So it's actually under, if you go to the sales order list under the status heading, that's where you'll see the option to show just
on
the
the
quote
on the web app. Okay, perfect.
on the web app. Yeah, on the web
Awesome.
app.
Thank you, Anurag.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Are there any plans to implement or expand to an internal temporary use and return system for a company that is not directly selling, but is more internal, but more so internally supporting? Gotcha. So currently, we do have a various different customers that's really using like the system just for like internal distribution, and depending on what the scenario is, usually it's done through stock transfers, and they can still track, what they have, what has been shipped out to the receiver, and what the receiver currently have as one of your inventory locations. The other way would be like a sales order. I think so. inFlow will be coming out with like inFlow manufacturing and inFlow inventory. That is currently something like we are going to be like working on. So in terms of like inflow, just scan in, scan out as like an inflow basic, I think the team is actually currently considering that as well. As we branch out into the different specific specific
Niches.
niches. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, yeah. So there is plans for that. As far as timeline goes, unfortunately, we don't have that information yet. But like like general scan in, scan out, we don't need other orders. We don't need to track financial side of things. That is most likely going to be something we will be working on as well. How can I find out customers manager assigned to our account? Uh, turn. We can actually find this out for you. If you actually reach, so if you do, for uh Kitan, if you don't want to drop in your email here like publicly, reach out to support and you can just ask them, who is your current CSM that's been assigned to your account. Yeah, because that's the information I'm gonna need to find that out for you, like the email you use to sign into inFlow. But I don't want you to drop your email in this public place. Yeah. How do we find out where the manager is? Yeah. Ali, same question. Um, for April, is there anywhere that we can add custom text to customer order line items, such as adding a part number at each line? I believe, will this be a part of Saurabh, anyway, do you know if there is like custom text, when we add the line items onto each order, right? And adding a custom text on there, would you know if this is part of the scope for the custom doc project?
Not too sure about custom
I'm not
docs, but we're also doing another project for line
line
item
items.
manipulation
Line
too.
items? Oh, okay.
So
And
we can
then
pause on that and we can log that as feedback otherwise.
okay, gotcha. Yeah. So
But
so yeah.
I believe
So
it's going
yeah,
to be an
April.
upcoming
Yeah,
one. So
gotcha. Yeah. So we are currently, looking to kind of like update the feature for like when we're listing different line items on the order. You can change you can kind of change, what the sequence of the line items is being displayed. And that project is currently going on right now. Um Actually we can actually take this feedback to see if we can actually group in together with that
mm,
project. I think that's a great idea, April.
yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
actually
as currently
that
you
actually
can
work
also
perfectly.
choose. Go ahead. Yeah, I was saying you
Good.
can also choose to enter the SKU or description of products on the line item itself.
Yeah.
So if you have the part number as a SKU, that'll show on the invoice and sales order.
Yeah.
If you want the alternate text to show there, you can change that to description and then
Gotcha.
manipulate that on the order.
Gotcha. Okay. And also, if it if they can route like the custom field on the product level, just have a custom field that's kept blank at all product levels, and then they can just kind of add that as a column on the line. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if we can actually. It's a good time to bring this up. Let me see if we can add that to the current project right now. I can't guarantee anything yet. I just need to chat with the CTO to see what the current status is, and yeah. But yeah, thanks for the feedback, April. Hopefully, I personally wanna see that as part of the feature as well. Oh, how can we see reserve product in
Mm,
an easy way? It's a great question. So, if you want to see a reserve product in an easy way, if for let's say if you want to see out of all your products, what are all the products that is reserved, then in that case, I would run a sales order report. It should be under the operations section on the web app, and then it'll be a back order report. That will give you what is your available for each product, and you can choose how you want to group it, right? You want to group it by product, you want to group it by order, right? And then it'll also give you a column that shows you what is a total reserves and what is a remaining yet to be picked for that order. Now, if you're diving into a specific product and you want to see like how many of this product is reserved, if you go into that specific product's profile in like the product page on the web app, if you scroll to the bottom, there should be a section for the quantity breakdown. On the Windows app, if you go to that product, it should be on the movement history tab, on the most right tab on that product profile. That will give you a quantity breakdown, and you should see how many is reserved and how many is available directly. Directly from there. And also, as a side note, if if you're entering an order and you're not sure how many is already reserved at that location that you're entering the order to essentially be picked from, if you do enter a quantity that is an overlapping of reserve, right? The system will give you a yellow exclamation mark to essentially inform you, okay, you're digging into quantities that's already reserved. You can choose to prioritize this, but you can't fulfill all the orders that reserves this without replenishing it first, right? That's when you see a yellow exclamation mark. When you see a red exclamation mark, it's when you prioritize one order, then for the other order, you're going to see an exclamation mark. Okay, now you really don't have enough stock on hand to fulfill this order, and you're going to have to replenish. You're very welcome, guys. Work order fulfillment seems to look at overall inventory across all locations instead of looking at inventory at the location where the sales order is assigned to. This mistake, I have a better solution for it. I'm not exactly sure which version, like which plan of inFlow you're currently on, but on the work order itself, there should be a section for you to choose the location. And the chosen location is where the parts to make that work order is going to be picked from. And then the general put away location as well, unless it's specified. Uh, yeah, unless it's specified elsewhere on the work order put away tab. Awesome. Yeah, Aaron, thank you for dropping that. We're going to be reaching out to you. Nick, is there a way to pull similar product? By pulling, if you want to see a filtered view of a similar product, the first thing that came to mind would be categorizing your product into like different categories. Then you can, kind of when you're running your current inventory report, you can group by category, kind of group similar products together. If that's what you're referring to, and also when you are, let's say, adding something on a stock take, something like that. I believe we can add things by category. Yeah, there should be different sections, in the future for you to add things by category. Yeah, but it will be dependent on how you categorize your similar products together first.
Pastor, at
Yeah,
question on. Yeah.
yeah. If you don't want to see zero on hand, there should be an option in your reporting specifically, uh, in your inventory reports for you to choose, if you want to see zero quantities or not. Right? There's some reports that there is that option for you. Yeah, in your main product list, you can put a quantity filter on there. You might be able to put a quantity filter directly, on that view. So when you're searching something, it doesn't match that filter Basirath. Or alternatively, like you can always sort by quantity. So the ones that you do have quantities of, it kind of like shows up first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
The
for
other thing,
Catan, for the different locations, view only feature, for the different locations. I agree. Let us bring that to the team. Unfortunately, right now, they're in terms of how many requests for this specific feature. I'm not too sure yet, but I can essentially check with the team to see, if this is something we will be evaluating. But yeah, if we have received that feedback before, chances are it's somewhere in the evaluation project. As of right now, for view only to other locations that the user doesn't have access to, there is I don't believe there is a current scoping. There is a current plan for that. It's just on our, list of different updates that we can do. But we can certainly take this feedback and for that to get prioritized during the next update.
Martin, just to jump in sorry for 1 second on going back to
Yeah.
Basirat's question. And also, I see some Julie. Sorry, I'm not sure. Let me know if you guys are having a hard time hearing me, Martin or
Personally,
Saurabh.
I can hear you properly, Anurag.
Okay,
Yeah, but if
okay.
there's
Yeah,
I'll.
we
anybody
can.
else, that's yeah,
All right. But yeah, I'll. Please let me know. And Julie, I hope it's better.
yeah.
Maybe there's
And
some
Julie,
sort of.
if Anurag mentioned something that you're not too sure of,
Yeah.
drop that in the chat. Then yeah, hopefully I can help with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Martin, I just want to go back to Bassarat's question and let you
Yeah.
know. So, at least on the product list, Bassarat, we do have a quantity range filter or heading, in which case you can specify a minimum of, let's say, one, and then just leave the maximum blank. So, it'll
Mm,
show you everything with a quantity of at least one or more, right? So, that's one way you can filter out to zero quantities. Just wanted to mention that as
gotcha.
well.
Cool. Thank you, Anurag. Yeah, I think that that definitely answers that question. Uh, go.
Perfect.
You're very welcome, Philip. Multi-location plan, product search and sales order needs to be based on product name. Currently requires a user to enter the product name from the beginning. And yeah, if when you're searching something up, you can search via product name or product like description as well. But I believe when you're searching up like your general product list, um, at least like on the web app when you're searching you can enter anything, like the data if it's existing in the item description. If you enter it in the item name, it should all show up there for you. Inventory movement detail report shows serial number but not the customer it was sent to. How can I get item to show where the item went on the report? So Mary, there should be an option for you to choose the order number or the transaction number on that report as well. Yeah, so that way you can kind of dive into that in a bit more detail, and then yeah, you can kind of see where exactly that order went to.
Martin, just to give you a quick time check, we're at
Yeah.
8 minutes left.
We're at
Just
eight
in case.
minutes to okay, yeah. So yeah. So we're gonna do a by 11:55. We're gonna hop into the spin the wheel and then see who the lucky person is. And again, if we're not able to answer all your question, please please reach out. And for those couple of individual that we've set that we need more information on, we will be reaching out to you at the end of this webinar as well. Uh, to web app. Yeah, Bachelorette, I agree. So yeah, eventually, as we add more updates to beef up the web app, um, as will be eventually, yeah, the web app will be our main focus. And seeing like a current stock or a quick overview of like your current inventory, it will be coming onto the web app as well, along with like stock transfer that we've added, along with like stock counts that we've already added on the web app. This is something we will be updating on the web app. From April, when you go to pick and ship, uh, doing this one line at a time gives you a list of all available products to add to pick and ship. Is there a way to a drop down list could exclude the items that are not currently on the sales order? Gotcha. So in this case, I would say the easier way, instead of like on the pick tab typing in one item at a time, instead of doing that, I would suggest doing elimination style. So you can click autofill at the bottom right first, and then that will populate everything that's already on that order. And then you can X out. You can click X on the ones that you haven't picked yet. Yeah. Or if or if you want to just use that autofill and then use it as a pick list, then that's one button that you can just go to. That will populate everything that has been ordered onto the pick tab. And in terms of what's on the pick tab, if you go to the ship tab, and if you click autofill on the ship tab, it's everything you have on the pick tab that will be populated on the ship tab. That might be easier comparing to adding a one by one. Yeah, no, we can hear better. Okay, awesome. I'm referring to the search in the sales order. Yeah, Interacts you mind helping out Kitan with uh with that sales order? Yeah. So
Yes, we'll to that here. So, what I mentioned is that for entering products into the sales order, you can either search for the product name by its start, or if there's a space in it with a new word, you can search for the second word as well. Alternatively, you can also search for any words in the description of the product as well. So, as I mentioned, if you have a word called baseball bat, if there's a space in the middle, you can search for bat and that'll show up. If the word is one word together, baseball bat with no spaces, searching for bat will not show up that product.
gotcha. Thank you,
Mm.
Sarah. Um, from Yolanda, maybe set up similar products with unique SKUs. Um, to be better search for supply. I would actually suggest your different products having a different SKU. That's actually a requirement from the system. So for each like product name, it has to be unique, and for each unique product, it will have to have a unique SKU as well. I would still suggest categorization, right? When you want to group similar products together, that's probably the best bet. Just for the easy viewing purposes. Go. And Aaron, we were able to schedule a time with Anurag today. Anurag, you got a call today with you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be chatting with Aaron. Looking forward to speaking. Yeah, Anurag will be looking
Yep,
forward to
absolutely.
speak to you as well. Awesome. And last from April, I guess I'm not being very clear. Sorry about that if I didn't understand your question correctly, April. We want to have our part description to be unchanged so that it can be searched in both ways. Gotcha. If we manipulate one or the other, it changes reporting. Absolutely. Okay, gotcha. Um, so in that case, I would say because it is a little bit different on like the Windows app versus on the web app. I believe if you just search in that stethoscope icon, right, in that little search bar, um, if you entered any data that's regarding either in the description or the product name, it should show up as your product list, at least like on the web app. I think on the Windows app, it's a bit more rigid. So in terms of when you're searching up like product name, it specifically searches just for like the product name. Oh, custom field. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thank you, April. Thank you for clarifying. My apologies. Things are getting a little bit mixed up. Yeah, we're different custom fields. As a custom field on each part's line. Gotcha. And then be unchanged. Search in both ways. Yeah. So, Saurabh, anyway, sorry, there's been a couple questions. Could you remind me, did the was April asking about adding like customizing like a text field under each line when we're adding that onto the order? Is that what's
Yeah,
being inquired about?
yeah. So basic. Oh, April. You just sent a message,
Mhm.
giving some fixes for a meantime thing while the project was being worked on. So, April, I believe your question originally was in regards to uh, custom text on line items, like on a sales order. Am I right? Customer part numbers to each line. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So if you want to add a customer, yeah. So to each line, yeah. So that we're actually um yeah, there's a there's it's possible since right now we are going to be working on a line items project. Right after this meeting, I'm going to go to the project owner and I'm going to essentially vouch for this specific feature to add this as part of that project as well because I think it's a great time to add it and I think it's a great feature to have. So in terms of this availability, I can't guarantee it. I will say it's looking generally positive because it is in the early stages of that project. Also, yeah, they're still open
Yeah.
to see what needs to be added to that. So that feature that you suggested, April, it's actually great timing. We're going to be taking that to the team, and hopefully we'll be getting back to you with good news. I personally, during my personal demos, yeah, it would be definitely
Yeah.
during my personal demos, I have seen that requested before. So I'm going to be using this opportunity as well, to kind of bring that to the team, especially if that project is currently, as we speak, currently being scoped out. Um, Nice. Yeah, you're very welcome, Philip. Yeah, appreciate your time too,
Right.
April. inFlow has
Absolutely.
become a huge asset for our company. That's awesome to hear. Let me copy and paste this. I'm gonna bring that to our support chat. Sorry, for our dev chat group. Our dev team doesn't get enough. They usually just get negative feedback from us. We're like the inFlow's most frustrated user, so they usually just get things that's missing from us. It'll be awesome, for them to hear from you guys as well. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Philip. I'm definitely gonna copy and paste that to the team. It'll make their day every time when they get a little bit of positive feedback. They're usually just busy coding, building away. Yeah, they'll definitely appreciate seeing this. Your dev team is awesome. Info has good. That's awesome to hear. That's awesome. Yeah, cool, cool.
Amazing.
Always reach out to us at support@inflowinventory.com. We will be, yeah, we will be responding over there. Without further ado, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for listening to me blabbering on here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so
Cool.
much, everyone.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
Saurabh.
rest of
Thank
your
you,
Thank you,
day.
everyone.
Anirek, for your support.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you
Awesome.
all for your time.
Yeah, well, we'll end it here. Take care, everybody.